flip 6 stairs takes determination. So will getting into college. I've got what it takes. So do you.
Comment tu t'appelles?
Je m'appelle Lazarus.
Enchanté.
Enchanté, Madame Naku.
Madame Naku. Language is what you have that nobody else has. That is something extra. And in today's world, you want something extra. So I want to tell all the parents, it's not just French, it's not just Spanish. You want your child to grow. And through a language, they can grow so much more. It's unbelievable what they can do.
Oui ou non?
Oui.
Oui. Très bien. Ouh là là.
Ouh là là.
Okay, Colin, let's start see maintenant Taylor. At this age, especially from kindergarten, they expect them to do basic conversation. They can carry basic conversation, describing themselves, describing the weather, talk about the parents, the family members and stuff like that. They are little things, but we're not into too much conversation, but they know the basic, expressing their feelings and everything.
Yeah, I've been teaching for 15 years, a total of 15 years. 10 years at Mays High School, 1 year at Fiket Elementary, and I teach French. We offer 1, 2, 3 and AP French, and I teach 1, 2 and AP. The new plan to have students take the same language from elementary throughout high school is a great plan, because learning a language is not just, or to have a proficiency in a language is not something you acquire in just 1 year or 2 years of learning. You have to do it over the years, and by allowing students to take it from elementary school, it helps them build not only on the vocabulary but also on the language as a whole. So by the time they get to high school, they will be familiar with the language already. Now, some of the problems that we have is students learn foreign language or one of the languages in elementary school. They don't learn it in middle school. And then when they come to high school, we have to start all over again with the basic stuff. But if they do learn the language, the basic knowledge in elementary school, and then move on to middle school and then to high school, by the time they get to high school, by the time they graduate, they will be proficient enough to have a decent conversation in French.
I think it is extremely important to learn a foreign language, because you never know in life where you will end up. Just like I'm here today, I did not know growing up that I was going to end up here. And when I was in elementary school, I took French for, I believe it was 6th grade. We started taking, English. I meant to say English. We took English, started in 6th grade. And I took it because it was a requirement, but I did not know that I was going to end up in an English-speaking country. So that's why I always stress that on my kids when I teach them, tell them you just never know in life where you're going to be. The kids love it, especially the younger grades, they love it. So I hope that we can continue to offer that to them, and they'll see the advantage of it, and the parents as well,
Getting your children excited about the language and just bring them to us excited. We'll do the rest. We'll take them to the next level. Absolutely. That's what I want the parent to know. I always start fresh. My idea is I want to teach somebody to speak French. And sometimes classroom management, the system and everything gets in the way. But I think year after year I've grown so that I know what kind of activity to put in there so I can grab the kids so it wouldn't be so much classroom management issue. And I really, really, really love teaching French. Communication has always been my thing, so it kind of ties into teaching because I'm communicating something that I know and love to the children. So it's working out. And now that we kind of going steady, I'm getting the kid from elementary, been talking to the teachers so I know which one what level. So when they come over here, I already know what kind of lesson to tailor to the student. And then when they leave me, hopefully, and they go to Terrell High School, it's going to be the same thing. So it's a fantastic year, and it's going to be marvelous.
My life is full of statistics. Thing is, I could have dropped out of school and become one myself, but I didn't, because I had people that believed in me. Here's another statistic. 7,000 students drop out every school day. That's one every 26 seconds. It's time that students know that we believe in them.
Inspire a student and share your message of support at boostup.org.
Students from Mays High School Dorothy Height Academy of Leadership participated in a special ceremony recently honoring the woman who their learning academy is named after.
So today, we give Dorothy Irene Height her rightful place among the great moral voices of the 20th and 21st century's civil rights giants. Mr. President, you may unveil the canvas and let the trumpet sound.
The highlight of the recognition was the unveiling of the Dr. Dorothy Irene Height portrait at the Martin Luther King Jr. International Chapel at Morehouse College. Dr. Height was president of the National Council of Negro Women and also served as president of Delta Sigma Theta sorority. She is an inspiration to many women, especially these high school students who view her as a role model.
Well, I took away that Dorothy Height liked to wear hats a lot, big hats, and she was very famous, and everybody looked up to her.
They are wearing their hats and pearl jewelry, and they're dressed in a very sophisticated, classy manner. And I'm so proud of these young ladies. They are doing exceptionally well. And Dorothy Height, I know, is looking down on them, smiling, saying, "Great job, young ladies," of the Dorothy Height Academy of Leadership at Benjamin E. Mays High School.
Dr. Height was known for her large, colorful hats, a reputation not lost on many of the women who turned out for the unveiling of her portrait that appropriately portrayed her wearing one of the hats that she loved to wear.
None can compare to Dr. Dorothy Irene Height. With this unveiling of her beautiful portrait, I haven't seen it, but she's beautiful, so the portrait has to be beautiful, inside and out. And this portrait will hang in Morehouse College's legendary Hall of Honor, and to celebrate the establishment of the Dorothy Irene Height Scholarship Fund.
Yeah, we should do the same thing. If they tell us no, regardless, we're going to push ourselves forward just for her.
The program focused on her not only as a great lady, but on her as just an everyday, ordinary person, because they injected humorous stories about her life, which I found amusing, and really I didn't know some of those stories. In closing, I would just like to say that I am really glad that the Academy is named after Dr. Dorothy I. Height, because this program today really let me know that I selected the right name for the Academy. She was indeed a powerful woman, and these young ladies will also grow to be powerful women in the future.
It was a memorable occasion in recognition of a remarkable woman whose image lives on in the Morehouse College International Hall of Honor with those of other inspirational leaders who influenced so many over the decades.
My name is Betsy Bachman. I'm principal at Cohen Middle School here in Southeast Atlanta. This year we're in a different building than last year. We're in the Eastlake Elementary School building, and we have about 320 children and about 35 staff members. We made a very successful transition to this building. We've been in here a month, and the students have adjusted well, the teachers have adjusted well, the parents. The school system has been very supportive of what we needed, and being in a small space gives us a chance to regroup and rebuild for the next few years, to really refine what we're going to work on as far as teaching and learning, and to really focus on, it's a small space, the students are very close by, the teachers are very close by, and I have been very, very pleased with how the children have adjusted to this building and to this new environment, and it's just been a great year.
Hi, my name is Ari Cain. I'm in the 8th grade at Cohen Middle School, and this summer we went to the space camp in Huntsville, Alabama.
5 people who were picked from math and science so they can enhance it. And the 5 people, they were interviewed, they were asked questions, they had all this different kind of stuff.
We were heading off to the airport, and we flew down the Fish and Richard Space Center, and it was actually pretty enjoyable. The first day, you know, we were just getting to know everybody, moving our stuff in our rooms and everything.
The thing that really messed me up was that we had 30 minutes to shower and then get in bed, and lights out was 10, I think. So that was kind of iffy.
The second day, we were just exploring the entire camp, getting to know our team leaders and everything, and my team, IO. It was real fun.
There's like a rocket park that's in there, and they let us ride the rides. There's one ride called G-Force Gravity. It spins you around really, really fast, and it makes your face press forward, and it really hurts sometimes.
We rode this ride called the Space Shot, and it took us right up. It's like a simulator for when you actually go up into space. So we ride the space shop all the way up and come back down. And just you feel it everywhere. You feel like you're flying, really.
Going in this camp, I didn't really know what to expect or anything. It was all new experience for me. But actually it was pretty fun. I learned a lot about physics and everything about space.
On Wednesday, we actually did the Shuttle Mission, and it was fun. I had a hard role. I had to go out to the actual moon, on the moon base, and actually put up panels so the other port on the moon could fire up so the people on Earth could come back.
One of the missions, I were in the Orion space shuttle, and I was actually mission specialist 5, so I had to just sit there and count down. T-minus 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It was actually pretty fun.
We also rode kind of a simulator of, like, when you're in space, how does it feel? So, like, we get on this ride and they just flip us over and over and over. But the weird thing was, it wasn't dizzy because they said your stomach would be in the same place, so it wouldn't get dizzy, you know where you're at. And so I experienced 1/6 gravity. They put us in the chair, did the whole walk on the moon, how you walk on the moon, taught us about all these different kind of stuff.
We were repairing the windows and everything, and it was actually pretty new. And my partner on the other side, she had a wrench and I had some pliers, and I didn't know how it was going to work, but somehow we got the window off and repaired it and everything.
But it was really fun. I got to learn a lot about physics, which I'm taking now, and how all the chemicals being good together can make a real big difference, like zero gravity with nitrogen and stuff.
Then that's when I went and I became a scientist for a couple of hours, and I got to actually technically blow things up.
And that last day came, and it was just like so emotional because you're like, I don't really leave because I just met you guys.
By 12 o'clock, it was time for the graduation, and there we met an astronaut. I forgot the astronaut's name, but we met an astronaut, and when we got on the stage, our badges that has my name right here had to be upside down because we officially didn't get our wings set. He then snatched it off and put it upright where our name would be upright and looking correct, and then we graduated.
And then he gave us some more wings to put on the flight suit. And so I really adored it. I thought I was being really honored just for the things I've done, and I loved it.
In a week, I learned at Space Camp so much about space that I never knew. I made 2 best friends, and they're lifelong best friends, and overall, I wish I could go again.
But you really got to feel what it was like to be an astronaut. To maybe you're not in space, but you got to feel like, wow, this is how they work. Like, I really want to do this.
I speak for all of us when I say we love you. Thank you and goodbye.
Welcome to Springdale Park. Our school is LEED certified. We have 23 after-school clubs like yoga and public speaking. We are the only school on campus with 2 historic homes.
So we were very lucky to be put in a school that Atlanta Public Schools chose was going to be their first green school that they built from the ground up. So they retrofitted these existing buildings and built a brand new LEED certified gold school with a rooftop garden on top. So 3 years ago, or almost 4 years ago now, we were put into this perfect, beautiful building with the physical resources we needed and just needed to pour the time and energy into it to make it work for kids, where it would be a really good learning opportunity for the kids to understand why Atlanta Public Schools chose to invest the money in creating this eco-friendly school. The most exciting, for sure, was going to Washington, D.C. this past June to accept the National Green Ribbon Schools Award with Ms. Brown. We had a great time up there, and it was great for networking and just to kind of receive recognition for all the innovative practices that we've been doing, and hopefully share those with other schools so that we can continue to spread that message and have it embedded in a lot of the other schools in our area and in our entire country. And the Captain Planet Foundation came to us about a month ago, and they wanted to shoot a public service announcement here on our campus using some of our kids about recycling, because they have seen our recycling program in action throughout the years since they've been here. So we did a recycling campaign called This Could Be, and the kids were able to show what an aluminum can could turn into.
This could be a book. This could be beautiful. This cannot be trash. This can all be recycled. Learn more at thiscouldbe.org.
So I'm the environmental education teacher. I'm part of the specials rotation. So grades K through 3 come to me once a week for 40 minutes. And I'm able to collaborate with all of their classroom teachers to reinforce and apply what they have learned within the classroom. And we are working this year to also use the EPA's environmental education standards. Those have been put out by the EPA as guidelines for environmental excellence, and we're beginning to incorporate that into our lessons too, so the kids can learn why it's important to take care of our earth and different ways that they can do it and how to solve problems in their communities and their neighborhoods. We also obviously follow a lot on the plant needs and the plant parts. Instead of just knowing that the plants need water and soil and sun and air, they learn why, and they can go as far to tell you about different types of soil and the different composition of those soils.
It's really fun because I can get my hands dirty and pick weeds and help the garden grow. I like pulling leaves out of the garden with a shovel because it's really like I can dig with my hands, and I got my hands a little dirty, but not really dirty. But I am gonna get it dirty after I dig with my hands. I like the garden because you get to plant stuff, and I like digging big holes. I like the garden because I like getting my hands dirty, and I like to mix up the soil and dig holes and help the garden grow.
we've been able to reinforce all their math standards, and they recently started measurement. So we'll start measuring the different vegetables that we harvested in our garden so they can get that hands-on application of what they're learning in the classroom.
I'm measuring the grass and it's 3 inches.
This sweet potato is 1 foot. This tomato is 2 inches. This potato and tomato are actually 3 inches the same.
So we have a cooking unit, and one of our favorite chefs from Atkins Park right down the street comes over, and he does cooking demonstrations for us where they can learn cooking skills, but where they can also apply a lot of those math skills that they've learned in the classroom.
Last year we made watermelon salsa and it was really good.
In first grade, we made pumpkin biscuits with Chef Andrew. It was very fun to watch how they were made and make them, and they tasted delicious afterward.
And that lesson specifically, and any of our harvesting lessons, also come back to our health standards too, that our kids always need more reinforcement with, is the nutrition aspect and the health aspect.
We're learning about the carrots and about graphs and how carrots are good for you. I'm researching about sugar snap peas, and we're going to plant them in our garden this year.
So we can kind of hit all the science, math, and health standards in a very real-world, hands-on setting where they can experiment, they can try things, and they can apply what they've learned and really make long-lasting lessons that they'll keep throughout their life, hopefully.
I really like the garden because it plants lots of food that people can eat, and I really like. And I heart vegetables.
Jimmy can't sing, and Tommy can't dance, so we're gonna put some ants in their pants. Aww.
Kids will spend 22 minutes watching us, the super duper party troopers, sing about ants in their pants.
Isn't that funny? Ants in their pants, they've got ants in their pants, they've got ants in their pants.
Brushing for 2 minutes now can save your child from severe tooth pain later. 2 minutes, twice a day. They have the time.
Did you know kids who play outdoors have healthier lungs?
Totally. Did you know that boys that play with dolls make better husbands? My son has lots of dolls.
But did you know terry cloth diapers breathe better?
I did.
It's totally true.
Oh, yeah.
Did you guys know statistically friendly kids have more friends?
Yeah.
That's obvious.
Did you know most people think they're using the right car seat for their kid, but they're not?
Parents who really know it all know for sure that their child is in the right seat. Visit safercar.gov/therightseat to make sure your child is protected.